immortals, capable of mistakes. The journey's not here to be agonized upon.
Welcome back, mere mortal lads. You are back with your two favorite mere mortals. You got Juan here.
And Kyrin here on the other side.
It is the 31st of August, 2025, and we're going to be going through some monthly goals today. Again, we're going to be looking back at the August goals, bang on the last day of August, and then we'll look into the September goals. It'll also coincide with Kyrin's new annual goals as well.
Next.
Oh, it's the next month. Sorry, I keep messing this up. I always keep thinking it's September. It's October. Then get excited because this is the last monthly goals you'll be hearing from Kyrin of the old goals, and then we'll go into the new ones. You'll be seeing some of my new ones and the transitions going through there, which has been quite fun. And we'll talk a little bit about support and everything else in the middle, and maybe some fitness as well at the end of it as well. So as usual, let's just get stuck straight into it. From my annual goals, I bring this up because I wasn't prepared. I've now had 8 goals. Sorry, I've got 9 annual goals, and I've been trading at like 8 monthly goals is kind of where I'm aiming for. So I had 8 goals for the August period. And let me bring them up. Cool. So I had, I'll just describe them and if I did them or not, because there was one that I ticked myself. It's nope, did not do. The aerobic base and habit locking just in terms of running. Absolutely. Got that in. I did over 100 kilometers of running in August. So today's the last day, but I think it was like 105 kilometers of running. That was, and it felt, so I can, comparatively a couple of months ago, before when I was getting ready for the New to Half Marathon, and even maybe before that, doing 100 kilometer months felt difficult and especially overloaded from a training perspective with my like general gym training. Now it hasn't felt as much, and I'm making some shifts and changes to my proportion of running. In fact, I predict that in my upcoming month, I think it's going to be more like 60% running, 40% lifting, which is kind of ridiculous. Wow. The other one was maintaining the 480 kilogram plus across squats, bench, and deadlift with a 3-rep range. Like supremely easy. This is totally fine. And I knew it was going to be easy. I just wanted to be like, back from Europe, let's just make sure I can do these lifts. Was able to do them and keeping them. So we'll see how that transitions over into the next month. The one that I just marked myself down as no was blocking 60 minutes on my last Friday of the month, which would have been the Friday just gone. Now I was in Canberra, and what did I learn through my body this month? Didn't do it. Like just flat out did not. I need to reconsider. I'll talk about it in the next monthly goals on how I do that. In my mind, what I pictured was just kind of sitting maybe with some music and doing. I actually wanted to do it on paper to document just, okay, from my training, have I felt like the weight load has been too much or the running load has been too much, and maybe what some of the learnings and things like that. I just didn't prioritize it, honestly. If I had to rethink it when I was down in Canberra, I probably should have spent some more time on that. However, I actually spent a lot more time, one, drinking, but 2, Lord of the Rings, 2 Towers, man, it's got me hooked.
Okay.
The first one, the Fellowship of the Ring, slow.
Slow.
Yeah,
I agreed.
Second one, man, I was like reading it like crazy. Wow. So there's that. Was doing other stuff that I felt valuable. The other 3 in the mind, the product ecosystem setup. Look, I did a lot of that. We've got all of our samples in the house at the moment. We've had a lot of conversation. I've set up the website. So a lot of the infrastructure set up.
Okay. You should show me some of that.
I will. Yep. I'm going to show you. So anyways, that's going on well. Publishing the first high signal piece for the mere mortals. Now, this was like a little gimme because I had it almost ready when I made those monthly goals. So it was like kind of good. But that one went out, and I think it actually got some good traction on it, which is cool. So obviously we'll continue that. Mapping the full podcast production process from recording to publishing. I did that really early on in the month as well, which was good. So that was fine. And then the last 2, completing the 4 weekly stillness sessions, 20 to 30 minutes. Now, I marked this down as a yes, but I'm going to say it was like a half yes. And the reason I say is I did do that 4 weekly stillness sessions, 20 to 30 minutes, really easy. But I had one solo reflection written or spoken on who I'm becoming this year. I created a big template on like how to do it. Again, I'm finding, and I need to like retrospect on this. I reckon I'm spending quite a lot of time on like reflection and notes and note taking. And I got to be careful I don't go venture into like I'm doing that an hour per day, right? Or what's the better ways to do it? In any case, I did start it. I'm probably 3/4 through the solo reflection of the notes that I did. But again, I just didn't like carve out the particular time. So I'll finish that this month in September. In fact, I could probably do it today. We'll see what timing allows, but I'll give myself a 3/4 yes. Last one of establishing a no digital policy between 6:30 a.m., 7:30 a.m., and 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Yes, I established it. Did I break it? There was some times that I would break it, but this is an interesting concept. So in my new daily journaling, these monthly goals are more overarching, connected to annual goals, but I've started doing, maybe for the last 2 months now, a daily thing where I do like, what tiny habit do I want to try and do? And those have been like, I wouldn't say goals, it's just tiny little actions that then load up to that. And yes, I haven't done exactly the fact of like between 5 6:30 p.m. and 6:30 and 7:30 a.m. Like sometimes I'll be on digital. So default should be a no digital policy. But I've added in these. I feel like it's a cool way to try and stop yourself. I'll give you one here from my little tiny habits. Social media. So I do have my social media apps on my phone. Kyrin doesn't. He uses them through the computer. But I made a pact with myself. If I go on any of my social media platforms moving forward, I have to get rid of one person that I follow. Like someone that I follow on my platform, I have to get rid of. And so again, that's kind of like the little behavior stop of being like, before I open up just by default, just whatever, you're bored and you just open it. I pause and I go, and this has been a good one because I'm like, if I open this, I'm getting rid of someone.
Yeah, okay. And then you get excited because you're like,
yeah. And like, honestly, at the beginning, it's been kind of cool. I've been like, get rid of this. Like, I don't want this. But it's starting to get to a point, like, well, I'll still do it. Like, I still go on a daily. But I am thinking like, I've got to get rid of someone. I've got to get rid of someone that I'm following here to enable to do this. In any case, that's just to say that no digital policy was like, yes, that's the default. Yes, it's happened, but I've done like little tiny micro habits to try and avoid it more, which I have directly seen on the usage of my phone as well decrease quite heavily because of that.
Okay.
So,
cool.
Anyways, that was August. So lots of little good successes. Some stuff that I need to like refine. Just and this comes down to more the note taking and whatnot. And again, if you're listening to this and you've watched us do a monthly goals now for like a long time, and you maybe think like, I want to emulate or do something similar, I think my only recommendation I'll just pause and say is look back at what we were doing when we were 27 and 28, not what we're doing now. Because what we're doing now, I wouldn't recommend for someone like that's younger. That's not. I wouldn't be. I would more recommend like just fuck like the note taking or the refining or that. Like just go hard and try and just achieve and pursue and do things. It feels a little bit now like I'm in this phase of like, okay, I'm writing, I'm summarizing, I'm conglomerating things I'm doing, as opposed to maybe years ago when we were like, event, I want to go to like 4 events this month and I want to experience this and I want to do that. As I think it's less so that different stages of life. But anyways, that's August. Sure. That's August. Me more lights.
Stay around until the next month when I've got some more perhaps younger goals. Is maybe what you'd call them.
Okay.
In comparison to the last couple of years.
Youthful goals. Let's call it youthful.
So my August 2025. Look, overall, I would say I did them, but it's just because they weren't particularly hard as well at the same time. So
you're starting to get to like the dregs of the annual goals, the ending.
Yeah, pretty much. So, don't establish a busy routine, keep time for serendipity. That's like a non-thing, like don't do something. So yeah, I did that. For example, I forgot to mention, I went to the casino on Thursday, which is a rarity for me. I don't go
not normally on
Thursday. That's not family night. That's a business night. That's a weeknight. And no, I actually went with my friend and played some blackjack.
Okay.
And it's fucking stressful, man. I thankfully we had a what do they call them, croupier, or the dealer, who would ask me like, "Are you sure you want to do that?" If I did something exceedingly stupid.
Yeah, okay. That's good.
I said, like, double down on 18. And she's like, "Are you sure you want to do that?"
You're like, "Yeah."
So I thought double down was like, you're just like, I just want to bet twice as much, but don't give me an extra card. Yeah, very ballsy.
Good. Okay.
So keep working through list of fun activities with friends. Managed to get some of those done. Probably one of the bigger things was switching some wallets and just getting my wallet scenario. In particular, I'm talking online.
We're talking crypto announcement.
Crypto wallets. Just sorting that out a bit more. I feel like I have, but also made a couple of just dumb errors recently. It wasn't related to security practices per se. It was more the actual platforms themselves and my use of them. So even though it's like my fault, they were designed in a way where it was also like
your fault, but there was like some blame to be had there on the platforms.
Yeah, the UI wasn't up. Well, it was up to standard, I guess. It was just harder. So yeah, I've actually had a lot of fun experimenting with some things. I put on so my brother and I I've talked, I think, about his gambling system before and how he ripped off the gambling companies, and we still slightly do that in a way. Ripping off's maybe a strong word. We utilize to our advantage.
Leverage.
Their offers.
Leverage. Definitely
no leverage. And I've taken it to a next level by then adding an extra step onto it with Polymarket. Actually, first time I used a VPN ever.
I don't think I've ever used VPN.
I might have used one once before, but they just tend to fuck up everything else other than what you're using it for. Right. So like, if you use a VPN while using podcasts, for example, or something, it can screw up a whole bunch of things. So
sure,
I tend to actually not use them, but I needed to use it because you can't use Polymarket in Australia.
Right, gotcha.
Highly illegal here. Talking about degenerate gambling and illegal stuff. Anyway, I had a lot of fun experimenting with things because I had a lot more kind of free time and getting whole things ticked off of my like to-do list is getting pretty bare bones now. I'm noticing. So continuing on, begin ramping up, but reduce down if the pain returns. Well, I did really well with the handstands, but leg stuff and hammies, which I've never really had a problem with before, are starting to be twinging. So that's going to kind of continue on into next month, where I'll need to just be careful and not do the same old thing of like trying to do reps and stuff, even if it's not 100%. Active morning energy despite the cold. This one definitely did well. I went to the run club on my own yesterday, even though it was cold and I had the thought of not.
That wasn't sunny.
It was sunny. It was still cold.
Seemed like there wasn't as much people there. I think there was a few people away on that particular morning.
Yeah. Yes. Correct. Prioritize travel history Asia books. Yeah, you see, I've done like a couple of book reviews of that coming up. More centered around Singapore and things like that. Speak confidently about my job / lifestyle. I fucked that up on the very first day, I think, of the month.
Good,
but then from then on, I
did
better. And then try creating an agent that notifies me upon trigger signals.
Oh yeah, how'd you go with that?
Yeah, not well. I was trying to like link it to an email, and if I'd spent more time, I could have got something that would email me, but it was more it watching certain levels was the harder bit. Okay. As in, like, I probably needed an API into a place like Glassnode or an online.
Do they not have their own API? So you can just
they do, but I think most of them you have to pay, right? Stuff like that. So I ended up just finding a website which basically has everything I want on it, so I can just do a visual check whenever I want. So that's and like it's real easy. It's got like yeses or nos for certain levels, and it's basically all the things I was looking at before.
Oh, so that's cool. Okay.
That's pretty much all I wanted and needed. So
the best work is no work.
Yeah, I did do well though for like the mere Morpheus. Doing stuff which I'd wanted to do ages ago, such as downloading bulk videos converted to audio, and doing that bulk was something I would have said, like, if I tried this 3 or 4 years ago, impossible. Like I would have had to learn how to code that myself. But I managed to do it, funnily enough, not through ChatGPT, but through the Morpheus API gateway, and managed to get like an automatic system that did that really well. So cool. I was pretty impressed with that. That was probably the first time I've had a coding project actually work using AI. So that was good. And yeah, just I had a lot of kind of like free-ish time, and I utilized it as well, which was good, and just doing a lot of things. So yeah, a decent August, if not for like an intense one. I feel like I got a bunch of stuff done.
Not intense, but it was like there were lots of things that you ticked off and you pursued.
Yeah.
Maybe a quick on the Boostergram side of things, or just on support in general. Any call outs, any trends that you're seeing? Have you still been listening to a lot of other V4V type podcasts or hearing what the Boostergram world is doing?
Less so. Certainly my involvement with podcasting 2.0 has diminished a lot compared to 3 years ago. Still listen to 2.0, the podcast, podcasting 2.0. And select ones, like I see Cole in the chat. I still listen to America Plus and a couple of others here and there, but I'm less intensely involved with that. And I still, it's moved away from boostergrams a bit at the moment. They're much the focus isn't on like the V4V aspect at the moment. It's more around.
Are you talking about podcasting 2.0?
Yep. Yeah. So they're more kind of looking at things like HLS video, for example, or a lot more people are talking about video podcasts, as in using them as a podcast, not as just like a YouTube channel or Spotify or whatever. And so that's taking a lot of attention. Fountain's still doing pretty well, but they're connected with Nostr. It feels like it's just like a bit of a lull period in a certain respect, and things are just getting built behind the scenes, and something will capture my attention soon. In terms of our support, I'll do an update shortly, maybe a couple of months' time. Just another little bit of an update.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I doubled down on the idea again. When the asset value is high, I feel like there's a reduced amount of spending or like psychological piece where it's like, I don't want to spend or utilize this particular asset to send to people when it's worth so much. But at the same time, if it's stabilized for a long time at whatever price, take it to a price, then I think the value would remain constant for people to actually use it as transaction. Like
there's a bit of that. I mean, if you go to This Week in Bitcoin, so that's Chris Fisher's, he still gets. Those should be the people who value it the most highly. They'll still send through like 30,000 sats, 100,000
Yeah,
sats,
that's a good point.
A good point. Yeah, I'd still say it's like, there's probably an aspect to it, but that's maybe 5%.
Maybe I'd say, actually, do they value it highly in a monetary sense, or do they value it highly as the like point-to-point transaction?
No, definitely monetary.
Yeah, okay.
Digital gold sort of aspect, but yeah. I also see Cole in the chat who's saying, my monthly goal is to win the jackpot with Kyrin. Well,
jackpot?
Yeah, I don't know what jackpot. I don't know. Am I offering the jackpot? I'm not sure.
Oh no.
Actually, no. I do have a small business proposition for Cole. I'm gonna send him it's on my list here. Let's see.
I would like to say,
hit up Cole about box on selling. I'll give that a little hint for you there, Cole. So just look for a WhatsApp message from me shortly.
I got a proposal for an extension of the podcast, or maybe a different view of the podcast, which I actually really liked. It was from a guy that I was flying with to Canberra with, and I wouldn't do this as a brand new thing. I could think about doing it, but I'll share the concept because I don't know if many people, like, if this exists, actually, someone tell me. But he was like, oh, it'd be fun. Not interviewing the successful people, but interviewing their parents, and just solely their parents, and talking about more so on, like, as they were growing up, what are the things you did do and didn't do, and how much of it was just like naturally the kid like gifted, and how much was it of the things that you didn't and like input, which I kind of get, because you'll have the conversations with like coaches, or you have conversations with some parents, like say Tiger Woods' parents. You could get a clear view of like, yeah, this dude was like sadistic on Tiger Woods. It's okay, so that's maybe one view, but what were Federer's parents like, or what was Andy Murray's parents like, or whoever. I guess he replied, he was like, I could help you do that. Like, that seems like such, because obviously he was saying it in the way that he would love to consume something like that.
Yeah.
And I could see myself consuming something like that if it existed too, for sure.
Maybe.
But I kind of said to him, it would be very difficult to arrange that even if you like the parents might be even more keen to talk about their kids than getting the really high performer. But it's still a difficult thing to arrange, and it's a difficult thing to get going. And
I would just be thinking more along the lines of like you're throwing yourself into there with potentially wasting hours with people who are not good conversationalists. I don't know if the end product quality would be amazing.
Oh well, that's a good point.
Depends
what the outcome though is. Like, I wouldn't have thought at all that that's a conversation.
Okay,
like you wouldn't be approaching it as a conversation. That would be an interview,
sure,
as opposed to a conversation.
Well, I mean, you can even have really shitty interviews,
Yeah. But like you'd have to be, and this is the bit where I was like, you'd have to be like really well honed on extracting from like potentially people who don't really speak that well or can craft things together and really like helping them out along the way with it. Which
would you if you were to do this, would you interview people who you had never seen or heard speak before? So
yes, yeah.
And
I've done that before. I've definitely like talked and interviewed people before on the podcast that I've never ever spoken to before, and it's like fresh first day.
Yeah,
but that was hard. And that would be even
like
harder.
You've never seen them talk as well.
Correct.
Like you don't even know if they can talk.
Correct. Yeah. Example, Peter Dodeja, who I had on the podcast. There was there was nothing that I'd seen of him prior. It was just I knew who he was and what he looked like.
Sure.
That's it.
Okay.
So, but that was difficult. That was also very difficult.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
All right, let's jump into September
that sounds
goals.
like a lot of work.
Look, I'm sharing it in the Immortal Lights. I will not be doing that anytime soon. There's a lot of effort that I don't have the critical mass to pursue. All right, so my September 2025 goals, I've got 8. Again, they map up to annual goals. And again, you can go back to the annual goals if you want to see how it kind of maps to it. It's fairly easy. 3 in the body. Volume, here we come. From a running perspective, we're going to hit 150 kilometers of running this month. So we're stepping it up. I've been doing... So last month was really just the base of the working out. Now we're cranking it up. I say 150 kilometers of running. It's more. It's going to be even more than that. But I'm just saying 150 kilometers plus, given a couple of days might not be exist. So yes, that's why there's going to be... My percentage of running is going to increase in terms of hours and like doing it. Mm-hmm. And inversely... I'm going to move into more of a blood and guts training to increase my intensity and keep my strength. For those who don't know, blood and guts is a terminology I believe that Dorian Yates himself created, or at least he has a program called Blood and Guts. Previous to that is Mike Mentzer and a few others from a bodybuilding perspective made famous, let's just say. The whole principle is really, really high intensity, smaller amount of workout. So one of the learnings I guess I've taken away from so many years is unless you're on heavy gear and you can really get yourself on like the ability to recover quick, trying to do what I'm trying to do now, volume of running with that amount of training from a gym perspective, injury. You're going to result in injury. And if I'm stepping up the running even more, I need to do things slightly different in a gym perspective, both for just like having the time to do this from an efficiency perspective and recovery. So this style of training, as an example, isn't you go in and you do 4 sets of 8 or 4 sets of 12, or you might do 5 sets of 5. Those might sounds like the normal training. This is for let's say for a chest workout, you'd go in, you warm up for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it may be, and then you do 1 warm up set of incline bench press, and then you do 1 hard, as intense as possible workout of incline bench press, and that's it. Then you go and do 2 heavy flat dumbbell bench press. That's it. Then you go over and do 1 heavy cable fly. That's it. So it's just like 1 singular, all out, super intense set. I've tried this before in the past and it didn't feel doesn't feel as fantastic from a pump perspective as like doing a lot more volume, but it did keep my strength at the same levels that I wanted it to. And right now, given I'm going to put a little bit more focus on that volume of running, I'm like, I just want to be able to just get in there, do the lifts and the training that I want to do to that effect, but keep myself more injury free. So I'll try it out. I'm going to try it out this month just to see how it feels.
Nice.
Recording the first in-depth body information. So kind of mentioned it before. I want to actually record it. So I didn't put the time in, but I will find the time in September to actually do that because it's actually recording it for a podcast bit of information that I want to share. So I want to make the time to some of those learnings. So even probably just what I said just then, that's probably what it'll become. That I want to put more thought into, the intensity versus volume versus strength versus age versus the things that you do. It's probably been talked in the past in various ways, but it'll just be my spin on it. So I want to record that, and that'll take some time to put together. The 2 on the mind space, I want to decide the path of the current business opportunity. So again, talked about, we got all these samples and whatnot. Yep. We just got to decide, cool. Have we got what he needs? Have we got the time to do it? Does it make sense? Is the TAM actually going to be something that, we follow? Have you heard of a TAM before?
Yeah, total addressable market.
So all that sort of stuff. So it's reality's got to hit this month. Are we pursuing it, or do I start looking for something separate? Fifth, complete the second content. And again, there's the high signal stuff that I've talked about, and it's called the projection paradox. So I've got some deep notes. I've recorded me doing my writing on the side of this already. I haven't done the full recording of me talking about the projection paradox.
Okay.
And again, I'll leave it at that. Obviously, go and find out as I release it in September what it'll be like. I haven't yet recorded it though. 7, the monthly solo practice. I want to complete my template that I created at the start of the month to help review. So I talked about this. I created this template for the monthly review that I want to kind of do. I want to complete that early on in September. And again, just to see, is it worthy for me to continue filling out? Because sometimes you don't want to just get into the habit of just filling out things for the sake of it. Is it valuable? Am I even reflecting on it? Does it help me in any way? So my daily notes used to be really large, and then I've refined it down to like, okay, well, this is the stuff that I actually care about and I'm using. The rest is like, it's fluffy, and you got to get rid of the fluff. And the last one is determine how a family philosophy might be best consumed. Now, this is actually an interesting one because I want to spend a decent amount of thought time being like, okay, I want to create a sort of family philosophy. How would I not just create that, but how will it be consumed by the family in the years to come?
Okay, so not for other people.
Correct. So this is the interesting one, and I'm taking it from the J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit. So that book or story that he created was for his kids. Like he was just like, I'm going to write this story for my kids. I've got this idea. I'm going to write it for my kids. The fact that it then became a book for people to go and buy and whatever was just a side bonus. Cool. That's what I'm just trying to play around with this philosophy thing of like, okay, if I write the family philosophy, again, it's just purely for kids and family. But one aspect of it is, well, how are we going to consume it? Is it going to be, should I record it? This is what I haven't even thought this through. Like, should I do a really big recording, like really make lots of notes and it's a personal recording for us? Do I write it down like just text-wise somewhere? Do I try to craft it into a book that then that book is like, then they can consume and we can look at?
Interpretive dance.
Is it a play? Is it a song? There's like all these mediums of how do you a story. So I don't know. That's what I want to, if anyone out there, I haven't even started like researching it, but if anyone's done something like this before, let me know. Like I'm starting from literal scratch on it. My like first thing that comes to mind is just a book. Like it would be cool to just do a book for the family and really being like, yeah, like if with no idea behind it of this going being like, oh, it's beyond that. I just want to have a book in my bookshelf that's like our family philosophy. Sure. Would I then be like, oh yeah, but I could, I guess, generalize it and be something that that can be consumed by others? I don't know. I've had this thought in the past of doing like a mere mortals maxims type book as well, with all of the thoughts and things that we've done before. So all that plays in someone actually said this to to me about our podcast, being like, oh, you guys you've done so many things, like you should do a book like around that. I said, oh, we've talked about that before, but again, that's like so much effort that right now it's just not. It's not on the cards for our existing thing. In any case, if you have done that before, you can help me out in that way by telling me. Otherwise, I'll be thinking and researching what's going to be the better way that both I can get it out of my brain, but also be consumed by people in the future.
Interesting. So, okay. Cool. Yeah, that sounds fun. That one.
I'm looking forward to that one. I'm looking forward to that one, to be honest. It's kind of like an extended... I don't know. It just sounds fun. Like I feel like it'll be fun.
Yeah.
I just got to put the right effort into the right place. Because if I start doing it as a video and they'll go, oh man, like this is just going to be too much or whatever. I don't know.
It'll be a workout.
Yeah, I'm
Family
working.
philosophy workout.
All right, give me your September.
Yeah, let's do it. So, once again, these all link to my yearly goals, which are wrapping up at the end of this month. So, some of these are just kind of like off topic or just stuff I wanted to do. So, arriving early to events and saying hi to people. I think it's been helpful to have the serendipity sort of thing of like going to things and doing that. But I'm like, you know what? If I'd just gotten to some of these places like 20 minutes, 15, half an hour earlier, I could have said hi to other random people and made the use of the kind of serendipity slash putting myself out there in like a kind of different way. So like say I went to the casino half an hour earlier. I've never talked to, I think, a random person in the casino before. So how would I go about doing that? What would the interaction be like? You know, could be good, could be bad.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know until I start doing it. So,
Yep. Okay.
I want to start doing that, just making a bit more of an effort. I've got this whole list of things that I still want to try and do in terms of like catch ups with people or where did I put it? Yeah, so there was like meeting up with a girl after so and introducing her to Butters. So she's from the gym. This month I've got a whole bunch of stuff on. It's mostly like just making sure I make the use of the things I'm doing. Going to Comic-Con, going to Cirque du Soleil. Want to do a tour of a Bitcoin mining facility here in Brisbane. Flying a drone with my brother, which we've had for like months and never actually used. All these sorts of things where it's like, all right, yep, just try and make the most use out of that time if you're going to do it.
Sure.
And make sure you actually do them as well. I've had this in the list for a while, and I think it's worth doing. Just catching up on Andreas Antonopoulos' Patreon. I think this month I'll do that. Bulk hitters videos in this month, and then get caught up on that because he's really good in terms of security as well as like the broader, especially Bitcoin scene. Maybe I don't know if his Patreon's still going. It's been like a year since I've tuned in, and it's the problem with it is I just dislike Patreon. Just the actual surface. I'm getting the delivery mechanism of the video or audio. I just don't like it. It reminds me of my last goal here of something I'm trying to solve because it pissed me off. So I can only do this for 1 month, and I got to binge it. Spent 2 hours on one-arm handstand research and form comparisons. I saw this video. It's so funny because it's like, I feel like I had watched all the one-arm handstand stuff I could on YouTube, and I was looking up like specific search terms, all these people, and I was getting to the point where I'm like, all right, I've just made it into now generic handstand videos. They're not even specialized people talking about here's a form check for a one-arm handstand. The problem with that is there is a whole like wealth of information, but a lot of it's trapped on Instagram. And this is where a lot of one-arm handstand people really, because it's kind of like a showy thing. It's a circusy type thing. Most, if you want to call them like one-arm handstand influencers, I think that's where they post stuff. That's their kind of platform, which doesn't have good search mechanisms. So I'm going to spend a bit of time. I think what I need to do is find the people who post on there as like a one-arm handstand coach, for example. Find their Instagram and then just fucking go through
their material.
Which is, so for example, like Ulrich on hands. He coached Brendan. I saw this video of him talking about like a one-arm handstand flag and just like a tiny comparison of like his hips were over this way and then he did it slightly differently, and it's like it makes the world of difference. And that's the kind of level where I'm at now, where I'm like, okay, I need to, if my hips are like slightly off like this, I need to reconfigure or do something a bit different. So those are the kind of form checks. It's getting to the point where it's like, yeah, maybe I do need to, if I want to really get to like another level, maybe a coach is, or like an intermittent coach, send them a video once every 2 months.
Yeah, not like consistent, but just like one off to like help propel
forward.
And
Ulrich's going to be in Brisbane, so I might try and do that sort of thing where it's like, hey man, I'll give you like a couple $100 or something if you spend 2 to 3 hours with me on one day, and we just go through my training, my videos and stuff. So yeah, maybe something like that as well, but just research at the start. Getting on to, I think this is the spirituality thing. I just want to do a little draft of a kind of like an affirmation sheet. I used to do this in the past. It's slightly hinting at goals for next month as well, but a draft on something like that of just giving me a bit more focus and direction, which was what this goal was around. The next one, this was related to like the travel, languages, all that's done now. So I've just got this chores work list.
Chores work list.
Yeah. So it's like cleaning and vacuuming my car. There's this outside area which needs whole cleanup. There's this tree which just needs all these branches.
Completing off the chores list.
Just fucking do that, man. Just try and get that all done in September, so October I don't
have to worry about that.
Yeah, pretty much. This one, no porn for the whole month.
Okay.
I have noticed over the past, especially last couple of months, it's starting to creep back in. Cut that one out. Yeah, and then get the Mere Morpheus up to date with the weekly updates. They post these updates and they're on Twitter Spaces. They've got these weekly updates, weekly maintainer updates for the Morpheus.
Like text or like videos?
No. Spaces, Twitter Spaces. So audio.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And once again, I hate it on there because it's unformatted. The audio levels are fucked. There's 5 minutes at the start where there's silence, and you can't play Twitter on your phone with the Spaces unless you've got the app downloaded. And you mentioned I don't like having the app on my phone. Blah 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 blah. So I'm going to put that all in the Mere Morpheus podcast. I've got all the audios now. Now it's just about actually posting it in there. So I'm just straight up like taking that audio, and this is for myself. I'm going to put it all in the podcast form and then listen to it. So yeah, it's for myself, and then if other people get value from that and enjoy it, that's nice and handy.
Gotcha.
But that is purely for myself, and maybe I should do the same with Andreas's. Download all of his shit, rip it off, put it into a podcast just so I can listen to it.
You'll get hit with copyright for sure for that. Especially if he's charging for the material.
Maybe. Yeah, it's probably. I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. So yeah, that's our monthly goals. Fitness. Is there anything worth bringing up?
I'm gonna talk about it already, but yeah, look, roughly the running's more than lifting at the moment, just by pure hours, which is kind of crazy again for me to think about. Again, ever since coming back from Europe, it's continued to go up. In fact, probably because it's the 31st of August, I can give you a direct look at what the stats actually look like. So let me pull it up. So it's so
I got some
details.
I got some points this year, I think, right at the start of the year, but I haven't, because I've just been focusing on the one arm handstand and trying to get that to see some progress. I haven't really achieved any points, I think, for like 6 months or something. And this is my fitness challenge, where it was a whole worksheet of just goals to try and tick off. That will be making more of a comeback this next year. So.
Nice. I'll give you overall this month 54 activities. Ran 112 kilometers, and I've done 22 gym sessions as well. So yeah, overall, actually, looking back, this month that just was, actually I did a little bit more gym than I did running in terms of hours and whatnot. So that's kind of nice. So, but that'll definitely change.
I've been at 4 workouts a week at the moment since coming back from overseas, and I think from not next week, but the one after that, I'm going to up it to 5.
Okay,
5 a week.
It's getting heavy. Yeah. All right, we'll leave it there. I don't know if there's any notes, comments.
There is, yeah. Cole said V4V needs to expand with different monies. The only podcast getting boost now are Bitcoin podcasts. That's probably about what I've roughly seen as well. It makes sense. There's still just a big hurdle of getting people onto a wallet and sending and things like that. It's getting close to the stage where that's getting abstracted away a lot. Not particularly with podcasting and being able to do that, but in general, I've seen a lot more things where it's like click into this and this integration into here, and it's like, oh, okay. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when we were 5 years ago, when I was first doing this,
full manually trying to do it.
It was very hard, and it's still hard-ish, but it's leaps and bounds better.
Yeah,
and
than what it used to be for sure.
You can actually, a lot of them use. It'll like say connect your MetaMask or your crypto wallet, and then do you want to use just a debit card instead or a credit card? And that certainly makes things a lot easier.
Yeah, no. It does, and I think it's just the on ramp becoming easier. But again, to Cole's point, I think it's at the moment that stream of value is going purely on the pure Bitcoin conversations, the podcasts out there.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Anything else there?
No.
Comments?
So for those who are tuning in and you're really interested in goals, we do these every month. Stay tuned for probably like 3 episodes time. I'm going to do my annual goals, which will be a episode all about like the kind of the level up. What in general do you want to focus on? How do you set them up? How do you know if you've done well the previous year versus this year? Things like that. And then, of course, we'll be doing October goals in a month's time. So,
ooh, yep. We'll leave it there. Immortalized. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for those who are doing it live. Again, we go live with the monthly goals and in the ensuing musings / meanderings that we do on Sunday mornings.
Yep.
So we'll leave it there for now. Immortalized. Be well. Juan out.
Kyrin out.
Good.
Goodbye.